What's happening, guys? This is your local black man Angry here, and I just want to rant about video games. Video games, they're very fun, well they were, and up until the last 5 years or so, video games have been feeling very stale. I'm not sure if it's just me by myself, but video games have not been appealing to me at all, and I find myself playing a lot of older games rather than the newer incomplete messes that AAA companies shit out. Now, I thought about making this video right when Saints Row was released, and I was really looking forward for that game. At first, the first trailers were kind of iffy because the cast looked just awful and sounded awful, and the writing was going to sound downright awful, but I decided to give it a chance, and knowing myself, I gave Agents of Mayhem a chance, and I might as well fucking try Saints Row. Lo and behold, I did not give Saints Row a chance. After seeing all the reviews and just the gameplay footage, just seeing how buggy it was and how incomplete the world looked and felt compared to the cinematic trailers, I did not want to give Volition my money at all. It's just sad seeing my favorite franchises go down the drain. Saints Row 2 was amazing, Saints Row 3 was even more amazing, Saints Row 4 was very out of place, but it was fun. It was fun to play. The writing was kind of stupid, but it was sort of self-aware in its own sense. But the thing is that these games came out day one and with no problems, with no glitches and no game-breaking bugs. The one thing that I remember Saints Row 4 being broken in was its co-op, and that was fixed within a week, and that was the only issue. On top of that, Saints Row 4 came out for $40. It was basically a big DLC for Saints Row 3, and it was very fun. It had more innovation to Saints Row because it added more mechanics and new mechanics to it, so you can have more fun playing with your friends. But the new Saints Row reboot adds nothing at all, it's just a generic open world game. An open world game that has nothing to do except mark things down in a checklist. Drive there, shoot there, drive there, shoot these things. Just the same. At least make it fun, and if your writers are gonna write something that's cool, or apparently it's going back to the roots of the OG Saints Row, then why have a cast of characters look like they just hopped out of Twitter and they spend their day all day complaining about things on Twitter? Literally, they have to hire writers from Wattpad or Reddit fanfiction or something, and the executives who are making these decisions and the people who are working on the game obviously don't know how to make video games. Halo Infinite. I love Halo so much. It's one of my favorite franchises. Has to be its top 5. But Halo Infinite was such a disaster. From the get-go, such a disaster. From that point, from E3, when Xbox was showing its pre-beta, or it looked like an alpha. Oh my god, the beta footage for the campaign, it looked so awful. But then they switched it up. They said, we're gonna delay the game a year and we're gonna fix it. Cool. An extra year later, the game comes out with multiplayer only. The multiplayer is free. Alright, okay. So, whatever. More people can play Halo. Then they showed the first multiplayer trailer, and they literally said, 343 literally said everything that you see on screen, all the armor, all the cosmetics, you can gain by just playing the game. Day one, hey, we have a season pass you can buy. It's $20.
If you can unlock something in the battle pass, we're not going to let any other players circumvent that by purchasing it out of the storefront.
A lot of our stuff is unlocked through playing the game and only through playing the game.
$20 is $20. Alright, $20 could be a whole new game. But okay, season pass, alright, whatever. But then you see in the season pass, it's all the things that you're supposed to earn just by playing the game. The worst part about the season pass was that half of it was filler. Just extra XP points and challenge swaps. Because they made the challenge system so egregious. The challenges were ridiculous. Most of the armor was in Halo Reach as well, so they basically took armor from another game where you can earn the armor free, and they literally sold it back to you. But wait, there's more. The armor you saw in the multiplayer trailer, they said you can earn just by playing the game, is locked behind paywalls. And they add the store, which each piece of armor costs $10 to $15. Fuck, even $20 sometimes. It's crazy. The kicker to this is that the game wasn't even finished. Alright, we had 10 maps on launch, which is a standard for any Halo game. The issue is, we only had so little game modes to play with. Infection wasn't present, racing wasn't present, and there was no King of the Hill or Griffball, but god damn, I played a lot of Oddball on that stupid Power Core game mode. The weapon variety was chopped in half too. They scrapped a lot of weapons that were classic to Halo, and you added these new weapons. The new weapons are pretty cool, but shoot, you could at least like put everything in if you're gonna call it Halo Infinite and call it a live service game. And for it to be a live service game, the only thing that was getting updated weekly was the store, and the store kept on swapping in the same items over and over again. Theater mode is buggy. I don't know if it still is buggy now, but shoots, this game is made by a multi-million-dollar company, and that company is supported by a multi-billion-dollar company as well. So where's all the revenue going to? Where's all the money that they had was going to? It went towards marketing probably, to sell all those Monster energy drink cans to get your double XP points on. Season 1 for Halo Infinite lasted for like a whole year, which was crazy, and Call of Duty does it way better with their seasonal updates, because their seasonal updates are like once every 3 to 4 months. Shit, Fortnite has more updates than freaking Halo Infinite. On to my next case, Cyberpunk 2077. Oh boy, I love this game, but the fact it came out broken was terrible. I very much regret paying $65 for this game on PC. It was one of the first games I played on PC. It had a great story. The story was what saved it most. Everything else was just shit.
What the fuck is that bug? What is that bug?
Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, the 24-hour hydrator.
Most of the cutscenes didn't even work properly.
Now I could.
There's a cutscene towards the end of the game where you're in a helicopter and the windshield to the helicopter is completely solid. You can't see anything through it because it was glitched. And this game froze and stuttered a lot throughout my playthrough. It was even worse for the PS4 users and the Xbox One users because that game could barely run on that hardware. And then again, this is a multi-million-dollar company, and how do you screw it up? How do you look at your project and say, yes, I'm going to release this out to the public and sell it for a good $65? Cyberpunk 2077 and Halo Infinite were even the terrible cases. There's a company out there that won't let their game die. This game has been out for 8 years already. If you guessed it right, it's Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 was a great game. The story mode was great. The online mode was pretty bare bones, but it was simple. 8 years later, Rockstar is still updating an 8-year-old game that can barely perform. Now, updating an 8-year-old game isn't bad per se, but to add a paid subscription service to your online portion of the game, in which you already sell microtransactions for, it's completely ridiculous. Imagine going to GameStop to buy a video game, and there's a bouncer at the front door, and he charges you $65 to go in and browse, not to purchase anything, but to browse the games. Just to browse the games, you have to pay a lump sum fee just to browse the fucking video game store. I mean, who's going to GameStop anymore anyway? One thing that's good about current Rockstar games is that they can update their games consistently. The problem is that the DLC they create and they want you to buy and purchase is that it feels like a whole tedious job. It feels like I'm playing a second job. Like, why am I going to work and then going back home just to work more to pay off a freaking car that I bought online? The majority of these DLC missions and side quests is stuff that you already seen already. Drive there, deliver this, drive over there, shoot this guy, drive back all the way across the map. You already wasted half an hour every time. And most of these missions are locked through a paywall, basically. You have to spend $800 million to buy an apartment or a submarine or a giant air vehicle to reach the next step of the DLC. The issue is that the load times are so terrible, and you could be spending 10 to 15 minutes loading just to get kicked out of the game or to fail and everyone quits, and then you gotta start all over again. The worst part about all of this is that GTA 5, the story mode portion, never got any attention, and I'm very afraid of GTA 6 coming out because half the people who originally worked at Rockstar Games left. Leslie Benzies left. He was a lead writer and director of the fucking franchise, any Rockstar Games franchise, and Dan Houser left as well too. And Rockstar went ahead and sued Mike Daly recently. Don't get me started on the GTA Trilogy Remastered, because that was just straight garbage. The fact that Rockstar Games itself went out and brought down class action lawsuits to GTA content creators that are keeping these games alive still, just so they can force everyone to buy their piling heap of garbage, it's just terrible. Rockstar Games is just terrible at treating its customers and its fan base. With all the writers and original directors and leaders gone, GTA 6 might actually be a giant pile of steaming dog shit. The video game industry has been taking so many L's more than W's the past 5 years, and I pray to the video game gods that video games will be great again.
What the fuck is this game?